Welcome to Spoop Squad, the podcast that watches horror films that go flop in the night. I am your spoopy host, Jared, and I'm here with...
I'm Nick.
And I'm Nathan.
Tonight, we watched a good film. We watched Baskin.
2015.
No, is it from 2015?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, I thought it was 16 for some reason. Okay, so Baskin from 2015. We watched this film on Hulu. I think you can get it on Amazon Prime as well. I'm not sure if it's on Netflix.
I don't think so.
Maybe check Shudder.
It might be on Shudder. Yeah, it is for sure on Hulu.
It is, because that's where we watched it.
All this pre-pro. Nice. Nailed it.
Pre-pro.
Pre-pro.
Well, that's why we're pre-professionals.
It's a dumb joke.
But you laughed.
I
like
know.
a genuine laugh.
I know, because it was a dumb joke.
Yeah.
I like dumb jokes.
You laughed and you looked like a young Santa Claus.
Ho, ho, ho. Hilarious.
Hey, somebody, what's the rating on this?
5.7 out of 10 on IMDb.
Excellent. That's like how much percent, Nick?
I believe it's about 69%.
You're
nice.
Are you sure? You don't think so?
Yeah. It's all right. Well, then, Nick, while you're looking at it, give me the synopsis.
So, a squad of unsuspecting cops go through a trapdoor to hell when they stumble upon a black mass in an abandoned building.
You did it.
You did read it out loud. So it's not mass as in like a thing. It's like mass as in like a service.
No, not at all.
Yeah, it's a black mass. It's like that's what they're trying to say is that it's a black mass is like a church service where you worship Satan, and that's what they're trying to say. But that's not really what it is at all.
That's like a bad way of saying it.
Yeah, it's a bad way of putting what this is.
They stumble into a cult ritual is basically what they stumble into.
Yeah, with the baby man.
Hold on. This one seems a little bit better.
Oh, God damn it.
Yeah, give me it.
While taking a break, a unit of cops received a distress call over the radio, directed to an abandoned building in the middle of nowhere, where they soon find themselves trapped in a surreal and nightmarish world. That's a little better, I guess.
Was that a question? Did they have a question mark at the end of that?
Nope. That was all me.
That's just how you talk.
Yeah. He's always confused.
Always asking questions. He's curious.
Are you guys hungry?
That's an actual fucking question. Like you didn't help your joke.
I mean, to be fair, this could be a question. The whole thing could still be a question. Like, is this a good synopsis?
Okay.
That's an actual question,
That's an actual question, too.
Hey, Nathan, I miss you.
That's not a question.
That's not a question. Congratulations. All right, so what we've been doing this month whenever we watch a good movie is that we try to find one bad thing about it. Because what we normally do is we watch a bad movie and try to find one good thing in each movie. So, Jared, what's your bad thing about Baskin?
I'm going to go ahead and say it. It's the fucking dance party bus. Bullshit.
No, you have to be kidding me. That's one of my favorite parts.
No, but it's like there's no point to it. Like, I get it. It's funny at the beginning of the film. Like, it gets you in this mood to, like, kind of laugh and have fun with it. But it's just so ridiculous because there's no actual point.
I do love when Oppo starts rapping, and then they're all like, "You're the man," but it's like the fucking worst rap.
They're all clapping and whistling and hooting and hollering.
Well, but wait, I mean, okay, but I would think that there is kind of a point to it because it's sort of like they're actually happy and everything just before all of this horrible shit starts happening. Like they did kind of have like a high moment and then immediately get taken down.
And when is the last time you've ever heard of policemen in a police vehicle having a fucking dance party?
Do you look at Officer Dan stuff?
It doesn't have to be real. And first of all, do you know anything about Turkish police?
Yeah. You don't know.
I've been to Turkish prison.
Nope. No, you haven't.
I haven't. I'd probably still be there.
You are a Turkish prison. All right, Nick, what's your one bad thing?
I think that, okay, so towards the end of the movie, when like the goat chick thing gives birth to something, like they take it away and there's really no like they take it upstairs and it just goes away and there's really no like explanation of what exactly that was. It just sort of happened and then it's gone, and I kind of felt like that should have had some more to do with the movie.
Yeah, that was like one big fucking kidney stone.
Yeah, it was in the shape of a baby.
Almost, but not quite.
It was in the shape of the baby from Eraserhead.
Dude, I was so close to spitting my beer on you. I had to stop and like take a breath in the middle of that.
All right, Nathan, what's yours?
Oh man. Like my one bad thing would have to be the frogs, because they're not really explained, and frogs are typically like a witch thing, and this isn't like a witch thing. This is like a demonic thing.
Yeah.
And so like it didn't seem to fit, and they didn't come back into play because when Yavuz died and the spider came out of his mouth, it should have been a frog, and that would have tied it back together. The spider had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, because the spider really confused me.
Yeah. But I did like Ramsey like just freaking out about the spider. He's just no.
Yeah, he just watched his partner like fuck this goat woman
after
thing,
getting his eyes cut out.
after getting his eyes gouged out, and then dying, and then the spider's what freaked him out.
Yeah. All right.
Everybody has a breaking point.
Yeah, and we are starting to step on Nick's next point. So Nick, why don't you do the kill breakdown?
We only have 3 deaths that we see for sure. A 4th guy does kind of get pulled away, sort of, and you don't really see what happens to him, so we don't know if he dies for sure. But the first guy is Oppo. He gets hit over the head with a hammer, but it doesn't kill him. But then later you see him, and he's apparently had his intestines kind of cut out, and the guy just opens that wound again and pulls his intestines out. It's pretty great.
That was pretty good.
Then Yavuz, he after getting his eyes cut out and fucking a goat woman thing, just sort of falls over and dies. So I guess it was from the shock of everything he dies.
Yeah, probably. I mean,
It was the demons. It was the demons that killed him.
Yep.
It was his sin of lust and rage that killed him.
Makes sense.
Senza. That's plural.
It was the spider. When he was fucking the lady, the spider crawled in his dick, and then it crawled up his body, and it bit him the whole way. That's why it crawled out of his mouth, because it went up through his urethra.
That
And
tracks.
his spider grew 3 sizes that day.
Yeah, it grew 3 sizes as it crawled through his pee hole.
And then the 4th one is Ramsey, or Boss. He just gets his throat cut. Wasn't anything like wild or special.
But he did have the key.
Well,
He
yeah,
did
but
have
that
the
wasn't
key.
actually like fully part of his death.
That
That
was
was
in
sort
the-
of like in, I guess, like a dream world.
Yeah, there is this kind of dream world that's not really explained.
Well, okay, so the movie seems to be in a time loop,
Yes.
and that indicates either like a dream state or something similar, I think.
Well, I think there's a
Because-
separate dream state that's
Well, I
running
think
concurrently.
it's all kind of tied together.
I don't think they're all in the same timeline.
I think they are. You might be correct that they're on separate timelines, but I think that what it is they're all actually in hell through the whole movie.
That makes sense because of what Baby Man says.
Yeah. And if you think about it, so Arda, we would agree, is the main character, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So Arda is the first person you see as a little child at the beginning of the film.
Yes.
And he exits his room because he hears his mom like getting busy, right?
Yes.
Well, there's a theory apparently that he is actually the spawn of the devil. That's why his father's never there.
But his father's fucking his mom. says his parents. He says his parents when he's talking to...
No, he says he hears sounds coming from his parents' room.
No, when he's talking to Ramsey later, he says his parents. He talks about his parents, and Ramsey says, and so your parents died? And he said, yeah, my parents died a year later.
But here's the point. You never see his parents. He never saw his parents.
Well, I'm sure he saw them at some point.
Okay, but to be fair, like if he's the spawn of the devil, why could the devil have not just like snuck in, fucked his mom just because his dad was there? Was he going to fight the devil off?
Maybe.
Could try. I mean, I would try.
Matt Murdock would try.
Matt Murdock would do it.
But I think based off of the lighting of the scene is very red tintish, which, I mean, indicates something kind of demonic, right?
Well, it also made sense because he was saying there could only be one vessel towards the end of the movie when...
He said passenger.
Did he say...
He said I have two passengers. He's talking about Ramsey and Arda.
Okay.
It's just a way to view this film. I mean, being a Turkish film, it's kind of hard to interpret as Americans.
Yeah.
So there might be some other kind of symbolism that we're not understanding completely.
Well,
but I think that's a way that we can look at this film and kind of understand it a little bit better.
There was one thing that I kind of was thinking that, okay, so he was saying that, like, when he's like, they're talking, it's Boss and Ardo in the diner, and the other guys are gone, and that's when he... Ardo. And he tells me, he's like, oh, and they see baby dude following, like, looking at them, right?
Baby man.
Well... So what I was kind of thinking is, like, maybe it is a time loop, but each time they're trying somebody else as the passenger each time, because at the end when Arda gets out and runs and gets hit by the bus that they're all, the police bus, and it goes into the river, there's nobody in it at that point, and there's nobody standing around the side of it. So I guess was it maybe like then he was the final one and they were all gone? Because when they were in the restaurant, the last two guys alive were the only two guys talking. Everybody else was gone, and maybe they'd already tried them as the passengers.
It's very possible.
Yeah, that I mean, again, with a time loop, you just don't really know.
I think that we're reading way too much into it. I think
possible.
that there's a dream world because both Ramsey, they established that in the diner. Not at the beginning, but later on in the diner when it's Ramsey and Arda sitting there together talking, they establish that they are special and that they can see things. And as it turns out, the thing that they're able to see is Baby Man, like in his big cloak and stuff. But, and the reason why I think that this happens separately but also concurrently is because when Ramsey dies, when he gets his throat cut, then they go into the diner again, and then he quotes some scripture at him, and then he's able to pull the key out of his throat to shove in the keyhole tattoo on Baby Man's forehead.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
So that's why I think it's concurrent, and it's at but that it's a separate, like, dreamlike, like, psychic state that they're able to go into.
I mean, it could be all of the above, in all honesty.
It could just be the director like, hey, we're going to throw some shit out there and see what you guys come up with.
Yeah. So apparently this is the director's first, like, feature film. And
good job.
It was based off of a short film that he did.
Yeah.
And then he got the budget, which is how much, Nick?
$350,000 US dollars.
$350,000 US dollars.
It's like right in that range.
That's no budget at all.
No.
And he had to go and find literally no-name actors who had no experience whatsoever. And I got to be honest, they fucking nailed it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was, I mean, you look at the IMDb, nobody has a picture next to their IMDb page for, like, their credit for this film.
So the person who plays the baby man, the Baba, that's what he actually looks like. He has a deformity, and he is a parking attendant.
Really? I didn't know he was a parking attendant. I think that's incredible that he just found him like that, and because his acting was incredible, and he's like fucking cut.
Yeah, he is.
Like, he's this fucking cut little baby man, and Like,
I mean, to be fair, he might have trained a little bit for the role.
maybe, but I mean, but he like was cut.
Yeah,
and
he was.
I don't think anybody trained for this role in this movie. I kind of feel like they just picked some people out and they started filming.
What about that guy that laughs by the fire? He definitely trained for this.
He did.
Maybe. Because he killed it. That was well done.
He crushed it.
Okay, so this film was shot in 28 days.
28 days, and 28 days later.
Nope, not 28 days later.
28
Just
days.
the 28 days.
28 days
yeah.
now.
Mm-hmm. And the building that they go to is actually an abandoned police station.
Oh,
is what
neat.
it's supposed to be in the film.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Because
Yeah.
Is there any mention
that
of
would
that?
that would explain the bars.
Yeah.
And there were like actual cells there. That explains that. I
Yeah.
didn't put that together because I just kept looking at it because I made the joke when we were watching it that it looked like the outside of the pool from It Follows.
Yeah.
And then you made the joke that it looks nicer than any building in Detroit.
Yeah, for sure.
Bye, Detroit listeners.
Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks for stopping by.
Okay, so what are some of the ridiculous moments of this film?
Yabuz is telling a story about when he fucked a tranny, and he wants everybody to laugh at
He
it.
wants everybody to laugh at him except for
The diner owner's kid.
Who's like serving them.
yeah. And then he turns into like fucking Joe
Joe
Pesci.
Pesci. Yeah.
Yeah.
He goes
He's a
straight
total
Pesci on him. Am I
douche.
some kind of clown
Yeah.
to you? Is this meant for you to be laugh at me?
Do I amuse you?
Yeah.
He was a total douche. And he's like, but then when the boss is like, no, I want to see what you're going to do. And he takes the gun out of his
calls
holster. And
him
he's like,
out.
come on, bitch, fight him.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the guy actually, that was actually, the kid gets a good, like, hit on him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he puts him on the ground, gets a couple of hits. And I was like, all right, kid.
I was
Good
actually
for you.
I was really hoping the kid would beat the shit
I
out
was
of
too.
him.
Yeah,
I was
me too.
Because
really
that would have
hoping
been
that's how
really
it went.
funny.
Well, I mean, if you look at it, like, Yavuz at first, like, didn't want to hit him. Like,
Yeah.
he was very,
Yeah,
I don't know,
wanted
like,
to-
he was kind of touching him, but, like, not aggressively.
But he's like trying to talk aggressively so that the guy would hit him.
Yeah.
I was thinking that it was more like he likes to sit there and tell stories and everything. Like he's the guy that talks about all this shit. Like, you know, he's like, oh, I have all these stories about whores and stuff. And so when he is actually put in the situation, he's kind of like, no, I don't really want to do this.
Yeah, Yavuz the mouth.
Yeah, that's actually what Yavuz means.
Yavuz
Nope.
the mouth Pesci.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't. I made that up.
Nope, I know.
I think my favorite ridiculous moment from this is the van scene. and
Yeah.
and for y'all listening at home, I'm not even shitting you. I looked it up before we started recording. If you go to YouTube and you type in Baskin van song, it will pop up the video of them in the van. But the best part about all of this, it's because it's like, oh, like this catchy song comes on and they all start like singing and laughing and stuff. And like Ramsey's in the back like starts to try to whistle along, and it's like, okay, that got weird. But then like Apo just starts fucking rapping, and it is the worst, y'all. I'm not even kidding. Like maybe there's something lost in translation, but like even his rhythm, it was like not good rapping. Immediately Yavuz is like, you're the man, and everyone's like
Now,
cheering for him.
Is this before or after Yavuz licks the fucking dollar and sticks it to his head?
No, Ramsey licks the dollar and sticks it to Yavuz's head.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was the rapping happens after that. And that is also hilarious. This whole scene is hilarious. And then the best part about this to me is that when it ends is because there's someone who's naked running across the street.
Which
Yeah.
isn't explained.
Not explained necessarily.
Well, yeah, I mean, because
Pretty much everybody's naked later.
yeah, because Arda gets hit at the end of the movie running down the street. So I guess we're to assume it's one of the other policemen that escapes and runs across the street.
Maybe in a time loop.
Yeah, because I mean they hit him.
It could
Like
be.
he hits himself.
It could be Safey.
No, they didn't
Yeah.
hit the naked guy. They stopped and
I
avoided
know.
the
But I'm
naked
saying
guy.
at the end, like, he is definitely on the street while they're driving, and they hit him. So it could have been one of them that did run across the street that they didn't hit.
No, this is where the time loop starts. Because remember, they get out of the truck and they get out of the van, and then they're like, "What the hell?" There's like a dent in the van, and they're like, "What?"
The scratches?
Yeah, the scratches. They're like, What happened? Where did this come from?" This is where the time loop starts.
Yeah, that's possible.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
And it's got to be.
So I don't know, because Safey gets the frog in the bathroom before they even go.
That's true.
And then they find the pile of frogs next to the van.
That's true.
Yeah. I mean, Babyface was there and like gave the kid the meat that they were supposed to eat. So
he was there from the beginning.
Maybe he put the scratches in it then, and they just didn't notice it when they got in.
Maybe.
There's a lot of unanswered questions.
Lot of
If only some cops could figure it out.
They're all dead.
Oh, but they weren't very good, anyways.
They weren't,
because nobody shot at any of the weird shit happening. Ever.
Oh no, that's not true.
Wait, did one of them shoot at somebody?
Not
it was
at somebody?
Arda like started to shoot at the Butcher sisters, and he just kind of like shot up into the air. Like he shot like 3 times. None of them at anyone, just kind of like around.
Not in Texas.
No,
he'd have hit something.
No, he wouldn't have. Not the way that he was shooting.
Well,
he was shooting with his left hand anyway.
Yeah, that's just dumb.
Yeah, who shoots with their left hand?
Probably
Guns aren't even made that way.
Probably left-handed people. Any other ridiculous moments?
Besides him fucking a goat person?
The goat lady?
Yeah, besides that.
That isn't ridiculous. It's like, that to me is really pushing like the boundaries of like what you're willing, like for what they're watching, what they're experiencing, that like pushes them over the edge. And like for us as like the people watching, it's not like a gore moment. It's not like some gross, gory moment. It's this like awful moment to watch, because it's almost as bad as like that first episode of Black Mirror where the prime minister has to fuck the pig. It's almost as bad as that because it's so awful and uncomfortable.
Well, he doesn't even want to do it at first. The guy has to actually like grab him by the back of his pants and like thrust for him.
Yeah, and he puts it in that was, what's that guy called? The Creep Master?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh no, it's in the IMDb. A Creep Master. Let's talk about someone who's ridiculous. This fucking
has like straw hair
and is like, as Michael Whitehall would put it, he's very camp, like sort of feminine in his movements and stuff, and
yes.
like, and you get the idea though that character is the like the midwife for the Stone Babies.
You're doing great.
Yeah, it's Master Creep. Oh my god.
Master Creep?
Yeah,
that's
Father
even better.
Servant Master Creep. Like, what a great rap name, like a DJ name.
Master Creep.
Yo, get down with Master Creep.
He only plays on Halloween.
Yeah, and then Oppo raps on all of his tracks.
God.
Master Creep, he's got straw hair. I don't know if he's got it down there. And then Yavu's, you're the man, Oppo. You're the man.
He's the hype man. Yavuz is the hype.
He's the hype man.
Then he takes them all out to fuck trannies afterwards.
Yeah, probably. And then talk about it at dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk about it at Waffle House at 3 a.m.
Waffle House. They don't have. Do they have Waffle House over there?
I don't think
I hope so.
I don't think so.
I highly doubt it.
That Waffle House was like, you know what's the next market we move into?
Turkey.
I did like the very Silent Hill moment when Safey walks into like the room with like the cells, and there's just a bunch of dudes in like leather masks, and there's a chick pegging a dude and shoving his face in like what looks like a saucer of vomit.
Yeah, it was disgusting.
Like, that was awesome. It was just so funny. It made me think of Silent Hill, and it made me think of Audition at the same time. Yeah, I just took you to the one of the worst scenes in Audition, and not worst as in it's like bad, as worst as in it's hard to watch. All right, so I think it's time for skull ratings. Nick, how many skulls are you gonna give this?
I am gonna give it a skull.
Yeah, no, I know. That's why I worded it that way.
Oh, then I take that back. I'm giving it no skulls to.
No, you're an idiot. You're giving it a skull. Jared, how many skulls are you gonna give it?
I'm gonna give it a skull.
Awesome.
Because so this is the second time I've seen this film.
Me too.
I enjoyed it the first time, and
Yeah.
I enjoyed it the second time. It's a really good film. A lot of good cinematography effects. A lot of good
Practical effects.
Yeah, it's just very well put together.
Yeah, I agree. That's why I am also going to give it a skull.
Imagine
ding,
that.
Ding. That was 3 dings for 3 skulls because we're
dings.
3 dings giving 3 skulls.
You did it. Congratulations. You did a thing that makes no sense.
I made a joke because we're dings. All right. Jared, what's the next movie we're going to watch?
Well, since you asked, Nathan, our next film is going to be Contracted.
Contracted.
This one's one that Nick suggested. So
It's a Nick gestion.
Okay.
Oh, man. Well, if you guys enjoyed this episode of Spoop Squad and you enjoyed watching Baskin, why don't you hit us up on Facebook at facebook.com/The Squad Podcast or on Twitter at Spoop Squad. We really enjoy it when you guys suggest movies. We enjoy it when you tell us how stupid our opinions are or how bad Nick's math is. So come give us a shout.
And I hope you spoop your pants.